Welcome traders, welcome to IC Markets Market Commentary. My name is Adam Harris and I'd like to run you through some charts that have caught my attention. So I'm going to do a broad overview of the markets and highlight a few of the most interesting charts. The first one on here at the moment is the Euro Dollar Daily. So first of all, we've had a good breakout from a strong level of resistance. We've pulled back. We've currently produced a bullish candle in the buy zone. This is the area between the 10 and the 20 moving averages, and we've got the 50, 20 and 10 moving averages in a bullish formation. So it is possible we could get the market could fail and then continue down from here. That is a possibility, but it is currently setting up to continue to the upside. The MACD is also nice and bullish, as is RSI. So that's looking nice and bullish. If I move across to sterling and have a look at the pound against the US dollar, it's doing the same thing. We've got a nice uptrend. We've got a weekly uptrend, a monthly uptrend, and we've got a daily uptrend that's pulled back, produced a bullish candle. We've broken the high of that. So the market is currently attempting to move to the upside. And the similarity between Euro USD and GBP USD highlights that it is most likely the dollar that is weakening at this point. We've also got the MACD trending higher here, as well as the RSI. So the momentum is bullish, and therefore these are charts that I'll be looking at for entry opportunities to the upside. Moving across and having a look at gold, we can see that gold has produced a swing low now, so we still have an uptrend. We have a high low here, so here we go, a series of high lows and a series of higher highs. We've produced a bullish candle and we're starting to push to the upside. Then I'll notice here that the 10, 20, and 50 are not in a bullish formation just yet, but if we look at it from a higher perspective, let's say certainly from a monthly perspective, we've got a very key area of resistance up ahead. However, it is looking more and more bullish, and we can see that gold is now breaking these previous highs, is attempting to move high. So I do like this for moves to the upside. However, I'm also extremely wary of this area up here above, say, 2000, because I expect there will likely be lots of resistance until we break through. Are we going to break through at this time? It is too soon to tell at this time. Next up on my list is having a look at the S&P 500. So the reason I'm doing that is because it's a fantastic sample size of the scale of, or at least the sentiment of the global economy, as well as of the general of the US economy. So if we have a look here, you can see we've had a very, very nice correction to the downside. We've pulled into these previous lows. We've connected with that 50-period moving average, as we have done in the past, and you can see we started to break away and move back up towards these old highs. So we're a little bit overextended. We've had a strong series of weeks. We haven't had a nice retracement on the weekly. We're now entering into an area where there could be some potential resistance in this area. And so we are overdue for a bit of a correction, but the market is very nice and healthy. We could just see very, very steady movements on the daily here as well. When I look at the MACD and the RSI, it's starting to flatten out. That doesn't necessarily mean that we're likely to have that correction now, but definitely we are in an area where having a nice pullback on the weekly for a couple of weeks, a couple of red candles would be a great way to continue upwards. So we might find that the market will either correct down towards these recent highs, potentially, or possibly even push all the way through up to all-time highs before having that correction. That would make a lot of sense. You can see the MACD is very strong and bullish, as is the RSI. Not too oversold. So overall, the markets are very nice and bullish, and therefore I'm looking for any kind of pullbacks, looking for entry opportunities to the upside, or even consolidation breakouts. To compare this to a few of the other markets, let's have a look at the DAX. You can see how the DAX is operating. This is the German DAX, operating at all-time highs and still trying to keep going. On the weekly, it's produced a nice bullish candle. You've got the 50, 20, and 10 in a bullish formation. So it's right at that level of resistance. And so I'll be waiting for this to break through this before I look for any trend continuation opportunities, but it is looking good. Just not so much on the daily at this point in time. Then moving across, for example, looking at Australia, at the ASX there, you can see it's also trying currently to break through this level of resistance. On the weekly as well, looking nice and bullish, and again on the monthly, operating close to those all-time highs with a very nice bullish candle. No doubt, again, markets are incredibly bullish and looking very good. Then let's have a quick look at let's look at a couple of equities before we wrap up. So we look here at Tesla. We can see that Tesla has a monthly uptrend, and if we look, for example, on the weekly, we can see it has had a big correction to the downside, but now we have got the 50, 20, and 10 in a bullish formation, and price currently printing a bullish weekly candle. So that usually hints at that if we close to the upside this week and then we break the high of that next week, we're likely to see it head higher. One of the things I would add, though, there's some bearish divergence on both the MACD and the RSI. So we could actually be seeing a bit of a correction to the downside, further correction. So it's just an interesting observation. Let's see how that goes. And then again, for example, looking at NVIDIA, which has had a really, really big boom, to kind of show you its performance over its entire lifespan, and then looking at it recently, this is unusual. This is very similar to Bitcoin's bubbles that happened, as well as Tesla's original bubbles, which happen when there's a lot of enthusiasm around it. It is very much overextended, and this is a good area for it to have a nice correction. It can't keep going up. At some point, there just aren't any more buyers. So it's likely that we might find that in this area where it is, it's like to start stalling. When it produces a red monthly candle, that would be a likely indication that it's going to pull back into these previous levels, which could possibly be even back down towards these old highs here, and then continue upwards. So it's not that the trend forever is done, it's just that it's now a bit overpriced and therefore needs to do a healthy correction. So for me, exercising extreme caution there. And then finally, let's wrap up just by looking at some of these cryptos. So if I look at Ethereum, which is relatively stable, we've got high lows, high highs. It is bullish, but it's not a strong bull trend. If I look at it from a weekly perspective, there's no real strong bullish trend right here, right now. If we look at it from a daily perspective, it's just trying to stay above this level of support. And I'd like to see it push a little bit higher. So I'm not finding any trading opportunities on the cryptos right now. They really need to break free to the upside. They're not getting much love there. So a lot of the big market movements appear to be happening in the majors. There's some good trading opportunities for trend traders in currencies, as well as gold is looking nice and bullish. We could have one quick look at crude oil, which is something that I forgot to add into this. There we go. Let's wrap it up and having a look at crude oil, which is also now starting to move to the upside. If we look at it from a weekly perspective, you can see looking nice and bullish there. And again, it's got some room to move back into these old highs. We're still technically range bound. We've got all these touches at the bottom and all the touches at the top. But certainly for now, there's opportunity for it to move to the upside. So I'm going to leave you with that. I want to wish you a wonderful week's trading. Thank you very much.